You got a lot of newcomers, transfers, and some freshmen that we've heard have stood out. Who's maybe some guys that you think of right away?
Started with returners led by Dion, and then all those young guys who played. You could tell the benefit from it. That's how we looked at it. Even though it wasn't what we wanted, but we knew we could get something positive from it if it was all handled the right way. And the program pretty much took care of everything else. With Smitty, first of all, it was Coach Venables. Identifying what the program need offensively to inject it. New lifeline brought in Ben Arbuckle, and he brought in his crew. And everybody just kind of feed off him, man. It starts with him, honestly. Excitement, juice, have a true identity, brings it every day, know who we are. We stick with our philosophy, and everybody is held accountable. He do a great job of holding coaches accountable, and it all just trickle down to the players, man. So just executing, flying around, playing fun, and playing ball, having fun with it. It's just like recess for us.
What's it been like working with Coach Arbuckle, getting to know him and getting on the same page as far as offense goes?
That's the page he's on is kind of like my background when it comes to college. Joining Cliff straight out of high school, and that's kind of like my foundation. And then a lot of those guys, those smart young coaches like Ben and Zach Killer, they take it and kind of add their own flavor with it. But the foundation is kind of built from those guys over there. Man, just his excitement, in the office with the guys, man, away from the building. He's just a true, genuine guy, man. So when you're working with guys like that means well, and all about the young men, you sell out for him. I want to see him be successful. Don't want to let him down at all. So I like where we at right now.
Zion Kearney and Ivan Carrion both stood out in the bowl game. What have you seen from them during this camp?
Both, you can tell they benefit from the strength conditioning program as far as putting on some weight, putting on muscle, faster, just playing with confidence. You come out of high school and you forced to play as a true freshman in the SEC. You survive with no injuries with those younger guys, and they're just playing confident right now. They know how to play with strength and know how to create separation and just understand what's going on the back end and know what it takes to play fast and know how to operate out there on the field at a high level.
We've heard Elijah Thomas's name a lot.
Elijah Thomas, you have, huh?
What have you seen from him since he got here? Is there anything about his skill set that's kind of surprised you since he's been out on the field?
I tell you what, we were talking about him a couple of months ago in the room with the rest of the receivers. And, Javanni's background, he's Louisiana kid, Southern Louisiana. Coach, I trained with Malik Neighbors, coach all summer, coach, and that's Malik Neighbors right there. I think he's have a little bit of that athletic ability in him, but this program, instill you with different DNA, so he's just so explosive, learns fast, take good notes, man, and, never really makes the same mistake, and we put a lot of pressure on him to see how he'll respond. He's been responding well also. So I try to break him on the field, try to break him in the classroom. I can't break him at all. But he got natural ball skills. So, and like I say, so explosive, man. And his catch range and his radius is ridiculous, man. And I tell you what, he caught a screen the other day, man. He probably went 80 yards in probably about 3 seconds, man. So just a freak of nature to get better every day.
Talk about those second-year guys and the confidence. Was it hard at all to keep their confidence up when they were kind of thrown into that fire last year with everything going on with your room?
No, it was like we was in training during the season. Every phase of the game last year, even when those guys came to the sideline, everything was like training. That moment, that situation was all training, and those guys only could control what they could control. So they had to just operate and do what they were required to do. They didn't call the plays, they didn't throw the ball, they didn't create the system. They just had to do some stuff that was asked for them to do. And they all stood well with it. It was just hard. Like I was telling some guys last night. I just remember a certain situation. We were down in Baton Rouge at one moment. That game situation, and I just remember just pulling all those young freshmen together. Like, man, we represent Oklahoma, man. This OU. Just look around. We'll never go through this ever again. So just make sure you remember this moment through training. When it get hard, you get pressure on your back. Venable, Smitty, myself, Arbuckle, that grimy time throughout the program, man. Just remember these moments, and you can just tell the growth at all through it. Even Zion Reagans, before Zion Reagans had a knick-knack. Man, he elite speed out there, quickness, speed, just understand spacing, just understand route running, leverage, so you can just tell the benefit from what those guys went through last year. So really, really like those guys in the room.
What's it been like getting to know Isaiah and Keontae?
I knew Keontae back when he was at East St. Louis High School, and I know what that school is about. That school is similar to South Dallas, what they do over there, as far as 24/7 grinding, training, holding you accountable, coaching, and putting pressure on you. So, and I got a chance to watch him as junior, senior in high school, and he was special then. I wanted him at the time. At that time, Keontae is different, man. He a dog, loved to compete, loved to fight for the ball, and so smart when it comes to playing a wide receiver position. Some people ask me who he remind me of. I cut from, I would say, CD, Nick Anderson, and those type of guys when it comes to just knowing the position, smart, playing fast, and just know what's going on the back end, understand route concepts, spacing, coach up guys on the field with him. Then Isaiah Santega, he's been in the SEC. His dad is a head track coach, in this conference. So he's one of those guys. Mom, Olympic sprinter, so he's just blessed with all kind of genetics. And then I just constantly just put pressure on him, pressure on him, pressure on him, pressure on him. You get in a situation in the classroom to teach, and you try to instill simple rules with them, with those guys, and try to make it easy for those guys to learn. And so when they get out on the football field, you constantly just breathing down their back in a rough way, and put them in situations where you're demanding a positive response. And he done stepped up to the table, man. That's one dude, man. He approach everything like a pro. I tell you, he approach everything like every day. Like right now, he's probably in the cold tub. Just the details as far as taking care of the body. He do things the right way as far as his nutrition intake, the rest, all of the details that make you a special player, man. He's already blessed with it and maximizing it.
When you got a guy, Jermichael Carter settled in, and what have you learned about him since he's been here?
Quick learner, fast, old school country boy, love the game, love everything about Norman, Oklahoma. Him and his mom does. I mean, they love everything about Norman, Oklahoma. The people here, the community, the school, what we do for the young men in this program. We living up to who we said we were back during the recruiting process, because he had choices and options also too. But the family environment here, the culture, and our DNA here is what caught his attention, his mom attention, and they seeing it every day, and just so thankful to be in this position. Smart learner. He's a strainer. When it comes to perimeter blocking, route running, he's going to strain and try his best to grade out extremely high when it comes to every assignment. Tough kid, tough country kid that's going to fight for you. And that's what you need in this conference. So when you were thinking about players in the portal, you had the conference and a style of play in mind when you were selecting players, not the stars or where they was coming from. It's guys that fit OU, that can withstand OU, and that can withstand the battle that we go through in the conference.
When you have a guy like Javanni who's having the spring that he had before the injury, just what's the process of keeping him engaged off the field throughout the recovery process, and then I guess ramping him back up as he's getting closer?
Myself, Venables, Arbuckle, the sports medicine department, sports science department, we all like one big team when it comes to Javanni. In with the rest of the players. But me personally, I look at him like he's not injured. He still is required to do everything that all the rest of the guys have to do. He still get questions in the room. We still call him out in the room. He still have to present. He's still right there with us in the huddle. He's helping the younger guys that's out there on the field at the same time also too. And we putting him in situations to make sure he's staying up to speed. But that's one dude, man. That's just a natural specimen. So I can't wait till he come back. With the rest of the guys that we have. All of them have different type of skill sets and bring different type of DNA to the room and to the program.
What impressed you about his spring before that injury, though?
Tough, man. Tough. This conference. He was the top guy I had on my board. And anybody in this program would tell you that. He was the top guy I had on the board because I knew what we needed. I knew where he was from. I knew who coached him. I knew what system he ran. I knew what Arbuckle was going to do here. And I thought it would be an easy transition. But overall, it was just his natural toughness, the upbringing with mom and dad down in the Opelousas area. And it was just a perfect fit, And like I said, you think about conference. You think about everybody who we play, in this conference, this schedule we have, when it comes to selecting and guys that's far from divas, and blue-collar guys are just going to battle for you, and that can play the position.
And along those lines, I know that injury to Jaden last fall was really, really tough. Just over the last few months, what have you seen from him in that process, just trying to get back onto the field?
And getting more engaged by the week. Just like Javanni, he gets called out too. But it's a beautiful thing to see him run up and down that field and fully dressed in their uniform. I look to my left, sometimes I see 11 and 1 running together. I just think about everybody. All we have to do is just get ourselves in position for when those guys come back and finish this thing the right way, man, so we can position ourselves to play down in Atlanta when it's time to.